Hey, what it do? Appreciate everybody for tuning in to With That Being Said. I'm your host, Bougie Brother Sean. Today I have our special guest, my main man Premier. Got my other homeboy Chris Dog, and then I got Dame here. Let's go ahead and run straight into it and get started with this show. Question number one. We had veteran producer Pete Rock rehosted a Tory Lanez interview explaining how rap was really in a horrible place. My question is to you first, Dame.
Do you feel like there's any front runners in this new era, like under 25?
I mean, there's not right now. You gotta wait. I mean, Corday can potentially be a leader, but like I said, everybody is a leader is over the age of 30 or close to 30.
Okay, what about you, Chris Dog?
Well, the question itself is answers itself to be plain, because you asking if there's a leader that's under 25. That question itself doesn't make sense, because there, in any aspect of life, a leader is somebody who learns through mistakes and grows and becomes a leader through a process. And the age of 25 is just not old enough to even, be at that point. That's one reason why the president has to be, I want to say 33 to 35 before he's able to even run. It's just a way of life. A leader is somebody who, like I said, grows into that spot. So a 25-year-old rapper is somebody who's out trying to become who he wants to be, or he's still looking at the elder statesman in order to see a influence to be like, to grow towards, and that's just not a good question for me. So no, there is nobody under 25, and there shouldn't be anybody under 25. I haven't seen one under 25. Most leaders in the rap game are people who have exceeded that age and shown what it takes to be a leader. So
yeah, that's interesting there. Okay, what about you, Premier? Do you see any young rappers that's like running it and is going to take it to the next level in 2020 to 2030?
So I have no clue who's going to get the point for this, because I think we all in agreement. There is some stuff I kind of feel a little kind of certain way about. While there isn't really right now a leader under 25, I still think it can happen, because in the hip-hop game, leadership really, to me, is really about the influence. And there are 25-year-olds and younger who get the attention or have the followers or following to be influential, to be leaders, but are they prepared for it? Or do they have an infrastructure or a plan for making it happen? Nah, probably not, because like Chris Dog said, like that comes with time. So as far as what Pete Rock said about hip-hop being in a horrible place, I mean, I kind of have to agree. I get kind of queasy sometimes when I hear a lot of the older generation of artists agree with everything that goes on and tells us to stop, kind of hating on the younger generation, because it's not really hate. I think it's more of we seen it, we kind of went through it, we lived it, and we just have good advice that can be, stood by and followed, that can build or help build hip-hop to a better place. So while it's not the most constructive thing to say, there's truth behind it, and I'm with everybody else. Like, no, right now, I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with this one, because Dame kind of hit it on the nail. YB and Corday is under 25, and he is one of the front runners, as in like one of the hottest artists right now. When Tupac died, he was under 25. I mean, when Biggie died, he was under 25, and those were some pretty impactful artists and leaders prior to them getting off this earth. So one, I would definitely have to give this to Dame, because Dame did say YB and Corday. Two other ones that was kind of on my slate. If y'all haven't heard of Denzel Curry, he's a Florida artist. He's actually a pretty good artist out there. You might want to check him out. And then, of course, Tierra Whack. Tierra Whack is probably one of the most influential artists under 25 right now. Y'all might do some history and do some digging with her next time y'all get a chance. All right, next question. We're definitely going to get into Diddy and DaBaby. They was actually at the nightclub in Florida, actually before the beginning of the year, and Diddy ran up on him and told him that he was pretty much the hottest thing popping in the game right now. My question is to you, Premier. Will my man DaBaby be able to keep his momentum going into 2020, especially with all the heavy hitters that's supposed to be releasing this year?
I don't know who gave that report out, but that's not what Diddy did. Diddy said, yo, baby, can't stop, won't stop, take that. Baby will continue this momentum he has this year, and it will continue going forward. Like, there's no way that this dude is going to lose momentum. He is too focused and too on point to lose any points. I'm a big DaBaby fan, not just because of his music, but because of the way he moves. Like, yes, he's going to continue the momentum, and Diddy was right, as usual. Diddy wins.
Okay, Dame, do you see more features and a whole nother album coming out of DaBaby this year, or is he going to kind of sit on it this year?
Well, first of all, I just want to point out, Premier said Diddy was right. He was referring to me. He wasn't talking about P. Diddy. Second of all, Premier, you got to stop yelling at people, man. We get it. You love DaBaby. But at the end of the day, I think DaBaby will have momentum this year because all of the hot rappers will put on their tracks. So he's going to stay bubbling no matter what. And as long as he has all the veteran people like J. Cole and maybe Hove and Beyonce and features on like, maybe Bruno Mars feature, Rihanna, he's going to land on some of these projects, which is going to put him on a higher pedestal, which is going to result. And then all it takes is for him to get on one of these Spanish singer songs, and it's a wrap. He's out of here. Next pop icon next to like the Migos and how they whole style switch, and then it will be time for the haters to start hating on DaBaby. So yeah, it's going to be a monster year for him, but I think it's going to be heavily influenced on all of the features that he's going to get with the big artists.
Ooh, Chris Dog, Dame feels like DaBaby is going to be on all the heavy hitters albums with features. Do you feel like that, or you feel like he's going to go ahead and sit on the back burner this year?
Oh, I'm sure of it. You got to ride the wave. He's ready to. He stated his claim in 2019, and 2020 is the year that he'll eat. And the real question is, will he last past this year? And that's where I'm going to say no. He doesn't have the rap ability to change up his style or to give people a different feel, or like I said, he'll ride the wave. He'll jump on some big name tracks. He'll pop off, but at the end of the day, people will get tired of it. People get tired of it. There's plenty of people that's doing the same thing he's doing. He's more on the immature side of things. Hopefully he'll hold it down, but the way it looks and as far as historical data, shows, it's only a matter of time before he fades out.
Yeah, honestly, I definitely agree with that. I don't think his 2020 is going to be as big as his 2019. So, Chris Dog, you definitely get that. But the reason why I say that is because you're absolutely right. If you're oversaturating the game, it's gonna slow down or bring down your timeline of your career, or it makes it just a little bit shorter. Or you're just gonna have to have a really big management group behind you to kind of balance all of that out. I don't think DaBaby has that as of yet. And I think if he kind of oversaturates himself and drops another album this year, it's not going to go well. So let's just cross our fingers and hope he's only doing features for the rest of this year. All right, question number 3. We're going to go with 2 Chainz. Now, 2 Chainz is supposed to be coming out with a compilation project called No Face, No Case, featuring all his young TRU roster. Speaking of roster, we got Schoolie, Sleepy Rose, my man Worlds, and Hot Locked In. Now, with J. Cole doing the same thing with Dreamville and kind of making his independence and making a big wave with how Dreamville is going, do you think, Chris Dog, that 2 Chainz actually has a chance to do the same thing with TRU Records and the new artists that he has on this label?
I wish him the best. Unfortunately, I don't think that they're gonna pop like they should. J. Cole had a leg up because he is a great artist, as well as 2 Chainz is, but 2 Chainz doesn't give you that rap like the real rap, the lyrical feel. Unfortunately, he's one of my favorite artists, so that's no shade to him. It just is what it is, and his artists that you mentioned have yet to create any kind of buzz on any internet or any social media spectrum that I've yet to see. So as far as that goes, I'm going to have to go a no on that one.
Okay. Dame Diddy, does 2 Chainz have the ability to, I guess, do a true session, a studio session for a whole week and make these young artists relevant on the label like Dreamville did?
No. As soon as this project comes out, I'm just gonna listen to the songs with 2 Chainz on it.
Right.
Just the fact that you mentioned any of those artists like Schoolie, I've seen Schoolie in the studio. Nothing impressive about that guy, and I don't even know the other guys. No, I'm not checking for any of them dudes. This project comes out, listen to the 4 2 Chainz joints. He might be able to get a little buzz if you get like a little feature from Kanye West, Hove, make a couple calls, get a couple favors in. But aside from those tracks, ain't nobody checking for that. That joint is gonna sell less than 100K, and that's including streaming, YouTube, whatever you want to call it.
Now, Premier, my question really is, do you think Chainz is actually like focused on the young era with this new album or this compilation, or like what direction is he really going? You know, because it's not looking like this may benefit him. You know, listening to how Dame and Chris are looking at it. What are you thinking, Premier?
I don't know if he's looking for the young crew. I mean, the younger generation. You really can't be. I feel like the boat got missed when it comes to 2 Chainz for this type of project. This is a young man's game, as I've always said. This type of project probably should have been done a few years back when, you know, the 2 Chainz movement was at its peak. I don't see him getting higher or bigger than what he was now or previously, and this project is not going to do any more to improve it. So to catch up to Dreamville and what they got going on, I mean, you know, Cole moved on to Dreamville, and it is what it was, and it is what it is, and that project can keep growing. So this the song I heard from it is cool. It's like 2 minutes long. I don't think they even put a full song together. I think the radio still only plays half of it. I don't know. But I don't see this project propelling 2 Chainz' career anywhere. I feel like it's more of a favor to his boys.
So I'm definitely going to have to give this to Premier, and this is going to even it all out. But Premier is absolutely right. The reason why he's absolutely right is because Chainz should have had something out years ago when it comes to compilations and trying to help young artists out. And this lane and where he's going now is just kind of probably makes him stagnant, especially with the project he dropped last year. But we'll see how it comes out when it gets released. But moving on to the next, before we do that, we're going to go ahead and go on to a quick break.
The Coils by Nature Beard Kit will keep your beard healthy and looking refreshed. First, you want to get your beard nice and clean with the Beard Face Cleanser and Shaving Foam. Next, you're going to want to lock in all that moisturized goodness with the beard butter. You're going to put some of this in your fingers and just rub it into your beard right on top of that moisturizer just to make sure you stay fresh and feel fresh all day. And lastly, you want to give that shine and sheen with the beard oil so your beard can be as fresh and as amazing as you are.
And we are back with Good Look, Bad Look, and No Look. Appreciate y'all for tuning back in. Again, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get back into it. Now, Good Look, Bad Look, No Look is in Berlin, Germany. Madame Tussauds unveils a wax model of Nicki Minaj. Now, if you didn't know, this is actually the second version of this model. The first version is in Vegas, and then they remade this one for Berlin. My question is good look, bad look, no look. Dame, what you got for me?
To me, it's no look. I mean, to Nicki Minaj, though, it's apparently a great look. She's super happy about it, super excited. I think we should go off of what she thinks, because I don't give 2 shits. I'm not going to go look at it. Don't want to take pictures with it bent over, none of that like everybody else. I'm good.
All right, Premier. Good look, bad look, or no look with this wax figure, man?
So, look, I guess for me, it's a good look. And the only reason I'm going to say that is because anytime somebody takes time out of their day to construct a statue or anything that kind of is supposed to bring praise or honor to you in a way, I guess, like, it's supposed to be a good thing. Did it look like her? No, so I can see what kind of the beef comes in or people arguing about it. But, I mean, hey, it's there. There's people who might visit the museum it's in that know nothing about her, and they walk by, it's like, oh, let's Nicki Minaj, who's that? And they learn about her. So, hey, it's a good look. It's publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, right?
Any publicity is good publicity. Chris Dawg, what about this, man?
Yeah, I'm on the same board. It's definitely a good look for Nicki Minaj. She deserves it. She's done a lot. I mean, she's transitioned to overseas, and they should have a chance to give her some love, and that's the way they're gonna be able to do it. She's not gonna come to their town. I mean, so you know, for her, it's a great look to have a statue. Why not? You know, I mean, you get a statue here. I mean, it's pretty much the pinnacle of what you've done. You've reached the top of your game in order to get a statue, and they feel that way about her, so it's a good look.
All right, so here's the thing about this particular wax figure with Nicki Minaj. This is Nicki Minaj's second wax figure. Her first wax figure was in Las Vegas, and that was the one that she actually gave high praise to because it did look like her. Now, the second version that they remade that just came out in Berlin, that one does not look like her, and it looks like an old Italian lady. And for me, that is a bad look. So unfortunately, I'm not going to have to give anybody any points on this because it's just, when you look at it, it wasn't.
And it's the same person doing the statue in both places? It's
the same person, but it's different regions. So they actually made Nicki Minaj intentionally look different because of the region that they made the wax figure in. So that is not a good look, but hey man, like to your point, I mean, hey, any publicity is good publicity, but just not with this one, man. They did it right in Vegas. Why couldn't they do it right in Germany? So that's my thing, man. All right, next question, real quick. We're gonna definitely get into my man Big Sean. Now, just recently, Jay Electronica said, and I quote, that Big Sean has one of the most underrated pens of this time. Right after that, briefly, Big Sean also apologized for just being distanced from the gram and promised that he was going to be going back hard, though. My question is for you, Chris Dog. Does Big Sean deserve more credibility and credit than what he's getting, or is he getting his justice right now?
He's right on par as far as I'm concerned with the love and the justice that he's receiving. The music that he puts out, when he does put out a good track or a good album, people love it. People love it. His pen, they love his pen. We realize that he has good music. We realize that he has the skill set. And, you know, coming from Detroit, we expect the utmost skills, and he brings it when it's time. Unfortunately, he doesn't bring it enough times, and that's where he gets watered down at. So, with that being said, Jay Electronica, he listens to him, he gives him respect where it's due, but at the end of the day, he doesn't put out enough. And for him to even apologize for not putting enough shows right there, that, you know, the volume of music that he puts out is just under par. So no, he doesn't get it.
Dang, is Big Sean underrated?
Absolutely, man. When you mention the top artists out, most people only say three names: Cole, Kendrick, Drake. They always leave off Big Sean as far as the spitting. They always leave off Wale as far as the spitting goes. Ooh. I think those are the top five, like, penmanship artists from that age group, period. Since 2004, 2005. They've been killing it ever since. Big Sean is super underrated. You go and listen to any of his bars. A lot of his stuff goes over your head. Royce the 5'9" gives him high praise because he is that type of MC. Eminem gives him high praise because he's that type of MC, not just because he's from Detroit. And the only knock you can say is that he does drop too infrequently. But even with that being said, when you go back and listen to the discography, the work speaks for itself. Like, the lyrical content always does somersaults over your head, and it takes a while for it to actually soak in.
That is deep, and I agree with that point right there. But dang, top five? Is Big Sean top five?
I mean, I'm not talking about top five all the time. Are you crazy? I mean, I'm talking about when we're talking
about his generation. Exactly.
Yeah, when I'm talking about this group of rappers that J. Cole, Kendrick, and Cole are in, and Drake. All three of them, you got to add Big Sean. You got to add Wale. Period.
Premier.
Like, when you're talking about lyrics.
Premier, where do you fit Big Sean in your top seven?
Top seven. So just generation, he's up there for sure. I agree. He's definitely underrated. His pen is underrated. The reason why he drops infrequently is because he cares more about quality than quantity. So he's definitely going to take his time in giving out music and what he's going through. He tries to personalize it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the diss track that everyone was up in uproar about that Kendrick Lamar dropped, I believe Big Sean was mentioned in those couple of bars. And if that's the case, then you know that one of the best people in that top seven that we just mentioned, who would be considered top 3, mentioned somebody who he listens to and is concerned about when it comes to that. So the fact that Big Sean is not as mentioned as highly as some of the other names, he is underrated for sure. He is top 7 in his generation for sure. And I would probably say top 5, if not right up there behind J. Cole and Kendrick, because of the quality he puts out, the same as Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole put out. They're not in this game for quantity, and they're not out there just to keep dropping records. Big Sean held his own on the whole Good Music project. He held his own with Jay-Z and Kanye on the track, so he's underrated for sure, and he's up there.
Look, I lived in Detroit for years. I'm a 7 Mile native, inkster. I love Detroit, and I love Big Sean. I think he's an excellent artist, but you can't put him up there with those 3 guys. You just can't. It's not fair to them.
You smoke.
It's not fair to them. Big Sean is a great artist, but like you said, volume counts. Volume counts, and he doesn't have enough of it.
Big Sean has just as many projects as Kendrick has.
Yeah, volume counts.
It's not even nearly as great.
It counts.
What are the numbers? I'm not sure what they are, but I'm pretty sure it's overwhelming in Kendrick's favor.
Nah.
See, Chris Dog, you almost had it until you finished that last part.
Sorry,
and I'm going to have to give it to Premier because it is about the quality of it. And just because he didn't bring out the quantity does not mean that he isn't the artist that he is. The game even spoke on him on The Light, So you're absolutely right, Premier. All of the artists in his generation speak of him very highly, and that should stand for something within itself. So yeah, definitely, Premier. I definitely got to give you that one. And Big Sean's new album, Chris, are you gonna have to check it out, man? I think you might like it, man.
Big Sean is my guy. I just said you can't put him in the same category as those 3. So
in his generation, man,
I'll stand by that any day of the week.
He's smoking, man.
Yeah, man. What are you? Anyways, next question. Griselda starts off the year with Hype Williams' produced video, Dr. Bird, off of their highly favorite debut album. What would Machine Gun do? Now, I think I want to go with Dame on this one. This is going to be really interesting. My question is to you, Dame. Best case scenario, all the money in the world, best features in the world. How far does Griselda take their Griselda sound?
As far as it is right now. That's as far as it's going. I can't believe you keep asking me these goddamn Griselda questions. Look, until they get some better beats, I am never listening to that shit, bro. Hands down. Look, the video was cool, though. I give them credit on the music video. The video was cool. It had some cool visuals, but nobody cares. Everybody in my house was sitting there watching it with us. And they all got up and was quiet when the video was over with. And it's like, it's the same thing. Everybody says the same thing. They can rap, but that beat, that's going to be their downfall. That's their sound. I get it. It's that old school, but that old school 90s hoodie, whack sounding Wu-Tang beats, like the whacker Wu-Tang beats. But
what?
This just don't work for me.
Premier.
I'm never, I don't care what you do. Eminem could be on every song, and it's not going to help them much.
Okay. Premier, can Griselda make their sound a little more radio friendly?
Can they? To answer that question, hell yeah, you can. Are they or will they? Probably not. Because here's the thing. Some people are absolutely okay with being in their box and being in their realm and being in their comfort zone of their sound. And that's what they are. I'm so objective when it comes to them because when they first came out, like I said, I did not really like them. But it grew on me as I listened and I realized they're not trying to be like everybody else. So will they grow to be this big next stardom of a rap group? Probably not, because they're not commercial. But will they grow their audience from what it is now in their box to be? Hell yeah. Because the visuals you have with this, more music they drop. They just did the Rap Radar podcast. I think Jay-Z just mentioned them on his playlist for the last year. They're dropping more music. They're dope as hell. So yes, they're going to grow. Are they going to be the next pop artist or anything? No. They don't need Eminem at this point, even though it's great to have someone like that in your corner. And when you have all that, you got Shade 405 with it. You got, Sirius Satellite Radio with it. So they're going to grow. But to the first question you asked, it's a little different, like, when it comes to them. But just stop hating, Dame. Come on.
Chris Dog, can you see, now recently Drake spoke in another Rap Radar interview that Premier just spoke on, and he said that he can do a track and he can see himself do a track with Griselda or maybe Benny the Butcher. Do you see Drake actually making a hit for and with Griselda?
Maybe, but that's irrelevant to me. The group itself will never pop as far as society goes. They'll find their lane. They'll stay relevant for a couple of years. They have skills. The video was okay. The first verse was trash. The next two were better. But it's hard to speak on them because as far as society goes, they're just they're late. They should have popped off 15 years ago. They don't really have a lane. They don't have a lane to be really famous. They have a lane to find for themselves, and people will like them that's willing to sit back and listen to lyrics. And I'm one of them people, as well as most artists are. Artists love other artists that give their all and really spit bars. But as far as my kids go, or your kids go, or 107.9 or Hot 97, no, it's not going to happen.
And that's as expected, because once again, they're in a box, and there's in the box of all the people who listen to it and get that feel of the things that we wanted to hear for the past 15 years that we want to continue to hear. And they will be introduced to a new generation who respect that same sound of a Wu-Tang or the same sound of the Locks and all that. Like, these dudes are grimy, gringy, and they get to it.
Do not compare them
Few
dudes
and
to
far
the Locks.
between.
That is disrespectful, in my opinion, to compare Griselda to the Locks.
The Butcher will have a good career.
Well, yeah. And see, again, I'm going to have to give this to Premier because you have to understand that every region has its own sound. And even with its own sound, you can still make a club hit, and you can still make a radio hit. I remember the Mobb Deep Quiet Storm cut with Lil' Kim. Now that is the grimiest, darkest song, but if you put that on in most clubs, that's gonna hit. And I definitely believe that Griselda has that opportunity, especially if someone like Drake or I wouldn't even say a poppy artist, but someone like Drake or Future kind of blends in with that Griselda sound. I think it's very, very possible. Yeah, it's not going to be your kid's favorite song, but I can definitely see them on the radio with Drake. I can definitely see them having a hit. Longevity for that sound, it's not. But again, to Premier's point, they're building their brand, and with that brand, they're keeping that brand sound, and that's a pretty solid thing, especially these days where everyone's trying to copy off of someone else's sound. So with that, we got one more question. It looks like Premier is taking off with this one, but we got one more question, and we're gonna see how that goes after we come back.
Real love got me hooked, your body's calling me. I can feel it in the air, I know you're proud of me. We locked in, baby girl, you hit the lottery. All we got is trust, don't you ever lie to me. Make it last forever, baby, come and ride with me. Vegas for a day, LA ocean spray. Steak at Gwen, Cali Bud in the wind. Got me caught up in the moment. Yeah, this is all I ever wanted. So hold me down like
All right, we are back, and you are tuned in to With That Being Said with the last question of this show, and we're going right back to Griselda. Now, we just talked about Griselda going on their interview with Rap Radar, and they're basically feeling some type of way because their 2019 was really hard, and they felt like they should have got a lot more recognition from it. My question is to you, Dame. Should Dreamville and TDE and Griselda be in the same light together?
Fuck no. Are you crazy, bro? Like, what's up with these disrespectful ass questions? TDE. Well, first of all, TDE is on a whole nother plane.
Okay.
Dreamville is they got like these young wolves that still don't get enough respect. I still don't even think they get enough respect after Earth Gang put out an amazing project. Kaz killed that whole project. Reason is from TDE. He killed that whole project. But Griselda, come on, man. Like, seriously speaking, I can walk out on this street right now and say, yo, how many Griselda songs you know? And you know what the answer is going to be? Who is Griselda? Fuck out of here with that. Like, come on, man. I'm putting them down. This might lose me the point. I don't give a fuck. They down there with the fucking Saint Lunatics. All right? Like, that's the level of respect I'm giving them. And I'm talking about the Saint Lunatics when they was popping. I ain't talking about the Saint Lunatics now. Like, that's the type of buzz that they calculating. And the Saint Lunatics was popping, but wasn't nobody checking for nobody but one person. Let's be honest. We had one dope person, one person that was commercially dope, one person that actually was known for spitting that, like, you know, you can't get an L, you settle for who, boy? Murphy Lee, right? And then everybody else, nobody's checking for it. That's Griselda in a nutshell. You got Benny the Butcher, and then you got not Conway, annoying ass voice. West Side Guns. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So you got Benny the Butcher, who's your Nelly, and you got Conway, who's basically your Murphy Lee. Ain't nobody checking for nobody else.
All right, Chris Dog. Was it on the rap radar? Like I said, man, Conway and West Side, like I said, they felt some type of way because their names not being recognized in the same light as Dreamville and TDE. Do you feel like it should be?
Not at all. What they're lacking, and that's this question, I have to agree. They shouldn't be in this conversation. They are lacking the superstar. TDE has a superstar as well as a nice roster. Dreamville has a superstar as well as a nice roster. Griselda has nothing. They have a artist that is really good with a lot of talent, but still not on most people's radar. And you know, at the end of the day, they're not on that tier. If we're grading this TDE and Dreamville with their superstars that they hold are in the A category, and Griselda is C-.
Okay. Well, Premier, why do you think that Griselda feel like they should be in the same light as TDE and Dreamville?
Why do I feel like I think that they should be? Probably because it's just that competitive nature in people. You know, you always feel like you should be compared to the people that you're playing in the same league as. So I don't discredit them or I would never tell them, like, no, you shouldn't think that. That's fine, but it's not the truth. They're not in the same ball field. Excuse me. As Chris Dog said, I think he took the words out of my mouth. Like, I think the thing that's missing is the star. If this was a poker hand, you know, they coming in with, you know, a pair of aces or a pair of kings. These other two with Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, who are bringing, you know, millions of fans with them along to the party whenever they drop their projects. You know, the Griselda clique doesn't have that. You're bringing millions of fans with the Griselda clique, if millions at this point, quote unquote. But you know, that's something that you speak to. That's just a speaking point. I don't agree with them for feeling like they should be mentioned. They shouldn't be unless you just want to have a debate and conversation.
Yeah, Chris Dog, you definitely get this point, man. They are looking for that superstar. I mean, West Side Guns feels like he's that superstar because he created it. He built it off with his bare hands, and his brother is the one that got on, and it's his record label. And then, you know, Butcher came in. But, you know, it's definitely not enough stardom there. They're gonna really need another star there that's gonna bring them that money in that bag and that showcase and that celebrityism that they really need. But with that being said, I'm definitely gonna have to finish this show off with giving Premier all the credit for turning up and taking this show. And go ahead and give me something, man. Let me know what you got to say, man, for this win.
3 in a row. I am Premier. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I said, with that being said, we will be here next week. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and make sure y'all subscribe and like this video. See y'all next week.